we're going to say, well, maybe the salt marsh needs to be restored and there's some walking trails that go there. It might be that it's forested. It might be that it's grass fields. There's going to be a range, and it's really going to be context-based. And so I think the hardest, it's a heart-wrenching decision to say, okay, I'm going to, depending upon your relationship to that place, I'm going to leave. I get a little choked up thinking about it. It's a big deal. But what we're trying to do is when people are saying, yeah, I want to take that option, then where do they go is a big question that we're asking, right? Yeah. Where can they, are there possibilities? That's part of why it's wonderful, I think, that the program is under HCR, right? Because they're charged with helping to get affordable housing across the state, right? And so what are they doing in those communities? Where are the kind of receiving zones for these folks? So that's why it's a much larger conversation. And they're working through the municipalities, and they're working through nonprofit organizations in communities. So there might be community land trusts that would be the steward of the land on a forward-going basis. It might be the municipality that's the steward of that land. So we're looking at really the whole life cycle of once we undertake that decision, what are all the pieces? And that's part of why it's taking a little while to get the program out the door. So we want to do it right. I don't know if that answers.
So one more question, and then we have to move on.
Okay. I noticed that a lot of trees were burnt down in Prospect Park some months ago during the extreme heat, and I also was reading that they're bringing back, they're going to plant more trees, and I was wondering, was that coming from this initiative?
It's not, but I'm excited to hear that they're going back and doing replanting. I think one of the things that, you mentioned Prospect Park and the wildfires, that's something that's new to us. That is not, typically I think of floods. I don't know about y'all, but flooding is our number one hazard that we experience in coastal storms. And then in Buffalo would be blizzards, right? And we get them here too. But fires are on our horizon, and there's a cycle. There's the drought, fire, and flood cycle that we see, not just here, but all across the country, where after a fire, the land is hydrophobic, meaning the rain hits it and it runs right off because it can't absorb that rain. And so then you become more susceptible to erosion and other problems. And so it's great that they're replanting because that's part of the recovery process.
Yeah.
I applaud them for that.
Right.
Okay, I lied. One more.
Okay. She said he can catch me.
Thank you.
This is our co-chair. I have to.
Lucy, don't worry, I wouldn't fire you. We are in the Rockaways. Of course, it's the peninsula, and when you talk about flooding, that's ground zero. We just had the rain the other day, and the whole place flooded. We have areas of the Rockaways where the bay, the Jamaica Bay, is eaten away on people's property. It's eaten away. There's no bulkhead, and it even onto the road. And this is something that I've been going to every meeting you can think about. I've been advocating for this, and all the city's telling me is that they're doing a study, and this study is over 10 years. They're still studying. So I'm wondering to know what kind of studies that is. The Army Corps of Engineers are the one that said that is doing the study. So we have that kind of issue. The next issue we have is we have a whole 2 streets, about half a mile, and the median is filthy. Every 2 or 3 months I have to try to get on to someone, either the Parks Department or the DOT to ask them to clear and to clean it, and then one person is passing it to the other. Now, if we want to do trees or do beautification of that area, can this program help us? Because here we are, we were a church 40 years in the community, and we want the place to look good. We also have a garden for the last 38 years. Long before anyone else was thinking about gardening, we were doing gardening. And I also want to know how this program can help us to get more land. I understand that as a not-for-profit, there are lands that are supposed to be available for not-for-profit to utilize. We would like to do more gardening to make sure that we give people fresh vegetables. This is something I do every week from March. We have a gardener who does that, and we have pantry program, and we give the food out, give the vegetables away to the community. Other gardens, they have people got to pay for it for the stuff. We give it away because we feel that people need to have fresh vegetables along with the dry goods. Thank you.
Yeah, so.
And I can go on,
Thank
but-
you. No. And I look forward to continuing the conversation,
Yes,
I'll say that,
please.
right? So you had a couple of questions that I don't know the answer to, but I will reach out and we'll exchange information so that we can circle back on. About kind of the access and the ownership and the responsibilities with the city. I can circle back with our city colleagues and say, hey, where's the next stop on the conversation here to help resolve this? But then the community impact grants, and I'm not an expert in them, but that was part of why I've called them out, is that the idea of gardening and impact from nonprofits in communities, they're not huge grants, but they are aimed at community-based organizations, right? It's about getting the boots on the ground in local communities. I'm gonna ask them a question about it in terms of like the community garden and the land access, and also my colleagues at the city, because I think there's probably a few calls to answer your questions. But I'll give you my card and we'll exchange info when we're right. We'll get you to the right people.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.